let's also talk about the FHA loan product, which is a larger segment of society is going to use FHA because everybody's not a veteran.
Okay.
So usually we know that the FHA loan product is going to be the loan product. It's going to be the pretty much most popular loan product. Can you tell us a little bit about this product, the qualifications, and how much you need to put down?
Absolutely. So we tend to lean on FHA financing more often than, of course, VA, because not everyone is a veteran or
Right.
active duty, as Greg mentioned.
Right.
Also, with FHA financing, some of the guidelines, the underwriting guidelines, are less stringent than what we see on conventional financing. So in terms of credit score or debt to income ratio. So we do tend to rely on FHA financing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And FHA stands for Federal Housing Authority.
Right.
So we do tend to lend on that financing option quite a bit. That financing does require a 3.5% down payment.
Mm-hmm.
So not 100% like VA, but still a smaller down payment compared
Right.
to some other options. You would be at 3.5% down payment.
Okay. Now we've been working together for a while, and I know that we've done some FHA loan products where you were able to combine it with a program, and it was more like a 100% finance. So could you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are home buying programs that are available. They tend to vary in terms of their amounts that are offered, their qualifications and their guidelines. But there are programs for home buyers. And I say home buyers because you don't have to be considered a first-time home buyer. So for instance, in Maryland, there's the Maryland Mortgage Program. MMP, sometimes it's referred to, but that program also allows for repeat buyers. So repeat buyer meaning maybe you sold your house last week and now you want to utilize the program in order to get some assistance towards your closing costs. So that is allowed under the Maryland Mortgage Program.
Okay.
A first-time home buyer is the definition of first-time home buyer when it comes to home buying programs is someone who has never owned property before, real property, has
Right.
never been on, not necessarily purchased, but not even on title. Because
Right.
sometimes we have instances where parents or spouses will add someone to title.
Right.
So first-time home buyer is not just that you went out and purchased the property, but that you have not had any ownership interest in a property
Right.
in the last 3 years, or you've never had ownership interest. That's the definition of a first-time home buyer when it comes to the home buying programs.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So you can utilize those programs with the Maryland Mortgage Program. Depending on the individual scenario, you could get up to 5% of the loan amount. So it's a little less than what it would be of the purchase price, but not much, maybe
Right.
a few $100s
Right.
less. So you can get up to 5%
Okay.
to use toward both your closing costs and your down payment.
So basically what you're saying, if it's 3.5% to put down on FHA,
Yes.
and they're giving you up to 5%, that 5% will cover the 3.5, and there will be some monies left to go towards closing
Tell them
costs as
again.
well.
Tell them. You gotta tell them that again.
So what happened is, if you're getting 5% and it's only 3.5% down payment, the other 1.5% can be applied towards your closing costs, which would also reduce your closing costs. Not to mention that as your realtor, when I'm going in and we're doing negotiations, if the market is in a space where you can get closing help from the actual seller, that means that you could come to the table with no money out of your pocket and possibly get your earnest money deposit back that you put down as well. So that's another great benefit as well.
Absolutely, with using the programs.
Exactly. So let's talk about ugly houses. I want to talk about ugly houses. So ugly houses.
We're going to start to see more of those, I think, in the new year. We're going to start to see those come back.
Right.
So.
I've shown some ugly houses before. And what I always tell my client is, okay, there's an option. You can actually utilize the FHA 203K loan product. And what I do know, I know there is a streamlined product, which means that you can get, used to be $35,000 or less, is streamlined. And they think over $35,000 is it goes through a more
A
stringent underwriting process.
Right.
Can you tell us about the actual the FHA rehab loan?
Absolutely. And I'm glad this is a great segue because
Yeah.
something just came across my email yesterday where it is being proposed to increase the streamline
Okay. It's
amount.
been $35,000 for years.
So yes, it is
Okay.
streamline 203K. First of all, FHA 203K is a loan that allows you to finance the cost to repair or renovate a property. And you can roll that into your loan. So you have one loan that encompasses the money to purchase the property,
Right.
as well as the money to do the renovations to the property.
Right.
Okay. So for years, it's been $35,000 for what we consider the limited or streamline.
Okay.
So that is up to $35,000 in repairs or renovations that are deemed to be cosmetic in nature.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Anything over $35,000 or anything that is deemed to be structural, not cosmetic,
Right.
is automatically going to be a full 203K.
Right. Right.
And those amounts can go up to whatever the county limits are for FHA financing. I've had clients to do small renovations that were $15,000, $20,000
Right.
that we financed into the loan, and I've had clients to do full renovations of property,
Right.
like a 3-story house where the renovation budget was in excess of $250,000.
Right. Right.
So that is the kind of the nuts and bolts of the FHA 203K. So there is a proposal that has been put forth to increase the streamline amount from $35,000
Right.
to $75,000.
Right. Right.
So hopefully we will see that come to fruition in the near future.
Okay.
Because I think as we start to see more properties come on the market that
Right.
need repairs and renovations, that's going to be an important loan program that we start to explore.
Right, right. And what I think now with the prices being as high as they are, I think that it's going to force people to look at houses they probably would not have looked at in the past. And what I tell my clients is you have to look past cosmetic things that can be changed once you move into the property. And I've had to tell clients before in the past, okay, do you like this subdivision? Yes. Do you like the property in terms of how the property looks on the outside, whatever? But you may not like the kitchen. You may not like the carpet. Things like that. You can use the streamline and you can just get new flooring. You can get your kitchen rehabbed. All of that is cosmetic, and you can move into the house that you want. And could you talk more about the appraisal process? Because 2 appraisals has to be done, right?
Yes, for the 203K, there is going to be an appraisal. So when the appraiser goes out, they are going to assign an as-is value to the property. So that as-is value is based on the current state of the property.
Right.
And then they're going to assign, so there's just one appraisal, but they just assign 2 different values.
Right.
You have an as-is value and you have an after-improved value that's assigned to the property, which tells you what the property will be worth based on the renovations that will be done, as well as comparable properties that are in the close proximity to the subject property.
Right, right. Okay. So as you can see, the FHA loan product is a very diverse loan product.
Yes.
It's going to give you the ability to purchase a property for less money down than if you were to do conventional, which we will talk about later.
Yes.
In most cases or whatever, because that has been changed as well.
And one thing I want to add, if you don't mind, is when I'm talking to clients about that 203K renovation or rehabilitation loan, I just share with them, don't price yourself out of the market when you can find a lower price home and make it your dream home.
Right, absolutely.
Make it your dream home with utilizing this program, because it's a great program, and really when we look at it in totality, I think it's underutilized, especially in the DMV area.
Right, right. I think so too. Like she was just saying, you can find a property that you really want to be in and on the subdivision or street that you want to live in, and you can make that property your own. You can come in and you can just completely rehab that property. I've seen pictures of before and after, and it's just been totally amazing. So as you guys can see, the FHA loan product is a very diverse loan product.
Yes.
and it will afford you the opportunity to purchase the property of your dreams. And if the property is not originally the property of your dreams, you can make it the property of your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Your dream home, absolutely.
Right, absolutely. Okay.